Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jamie and Mike here for episode number 66 of Mirrorless Minutes. I'm in a small, cold, dark bedroom. Mike has California sunshine beaming in
I
his
do. I'm looking at the planes landing at the San Francisco airport. I'm literally, I can see a plane 200 yards from me. That's how close they are. And that's the landing strip. So I'm watching planes land and the sun beating in. But,
That's going to change. We're giving you our crappy weather here really soon.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's coming the opposite way now.
Yeah.
But I'll be in rain for anybody that thinks this is nice. The next 3 days, I'll be a drowned rat teaching in the streets of San Francisco.
So I'm kind of curious. So you're doing the workshop with Eric Story in San Francisco.
Right.
Supposed to rain, but part of me thinks that could make for some really interesting opportunities.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about, actually. That's what we just sent out the email to all the participants. Don't let the rain scare you away. We're going to get the best pictures you might have ever gotten in the streets.
Yeah,
so we've got some really cool things planned. We adjusted actually where we're going and some different areas so that we're walking to these things, and it's going to be pretty nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Are you renaming it Reflections of San Francisco?
Yeah, Reflections of San Francisco. We'll see on the next show which pictures I share.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess we could mention, last night we were on the Out of Chicago live. I don't want to call it a podcast, although it's kind of like a live show that they do with some of the people who are presenters there. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes. So if anybody wants to swing over and check out what Mike and I had to say about Out of Chicago last night, that'd be kind of cool to check out, because we do talk about the workshop that we're doing in Chicago in September. So that's definitely something cool to listen to.
And if you listen all the way to the end, you'll hear some codes for $100 off.
Yeah, $100
I mean, we could probably say them now too, but let's go listen to the show.
Yeah. You're either going to go listen to the show or listen to this all the way to the end, and then I guess they could just cheat and just zip ahead to the end. But so I guess let's start talking. Right off the bat, I'm not gonna tell everybody yet who won what. Wait, did you hear that on my end? That bong noise? That was weird. So, anyways, maybe it's just in my headphones.
On a plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Google. They're messing with my head. So let's talk really quick about how Between the Minutes has been going. I mean, how do you feel like it's been going? And
what a great. I mean, truly, Jamie, we'll give you all the credit. That's a great idea because we've ended up. What would you say? I mean, not only have we gotten probably more people following the show. And following the show on iTunes, which we really struggled to get people to follow. Yeah. Because I think everybody watches live on YouTube and you don't think of going to iTunes for the show.
Yeah.
But now we've actually got some presence in both places, which is fantastic. But I like the Between the Minutes. It's, yesterday during our Out of Chicago live thing, I wrote down 3 more topics that I want to discuss. And 2 of them have 0 to do with photography.
Whoa!
So you'll have to stay tuned for that.
I think Mike must be getting deep here.
One of them is sort of deep, but it's
deep thoughts with Mike Bainey.
It's going to be a 10-minute, but I'm going to wrap it around photography.
Very cool, very cool.
I like doing them. I mean, outside of trying to learn how to do all the the speech piece and your peas popping and
right, yeah. Mike and I, before the show, we were talking about that. I showed him a pop filter that I ordered for this mic, and before Mike and I were before I was even done talking about everything that I was learning about this pop filter, Mike's like, all right, I ordered it. So
gotta have something like that. But but I think it's fun. We've gotten good comments. I have. And what's neat is in fact that's one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, as Olympus has all those tips that we write as trailblazers or visionaries, and they just released the tip on the LSF, the large superfine JPEG for me, and I don't know if I've ever seen so many people comment or have an opinion.
That's awesome. Well, I think it's one of those things that it's buried. It's not the most easy thing to find, and I think
it's pretty hard.
Probably don't realize they even have that option in their camera. So
right,
had you not written that and they published it, there'd be a lot of people still not shooting a large superfine JPEG. So
right, and it's so easy to do, and I mean, with the cost of memory these days,
oh yeah,
a hard drive, it's not that much that you're and look at, if you're shooting with the Pen F, I don't think there's any reason you would do that, because I certainly keep more JPEGs than I do probably even RAWs with the Pen F, because of the way we shoot them.
Yeah, the color and mono profiles and being able to customize it. Yeah, without a doubt. I think you're right. I think there are very few RAW files that I'm that concerned with the pen. So
right, I agree.
And I've been having a lot of fun with it too. I've got 3 more that are done that just need a little bit of editing, and they won't roll out all at once. I'll do what we've been doing, and that's just kind of keep them spaced out and fill in the gaps. But it's been a lot of fun. It's
keep them spaced out so I don't have to catch up.
Yeah. Well, it's a good creative outlet, I think.
Right.
We can't always be shooting, but we always are thinking. So it's a cool way to get that out there.
Yeah, it's nice, and people are watching this show or whatever. It'd be great to let us know, what you think in the show notes. Let us know, and especially maybe there's something you want to know that we haven't even thought about yet. I'd love to find out some more things that maybe we can do one on.
Yeah, without a doubt. If people want them more focused on the technical side of things, then I can tailor some towards that. Or if people like, the more inspirational or philosophical side of photography, we could do that as well too. So
yeah, exactly. So what else has been going on? Are you talking about filters tonight, or?
Yeah, I was thinking I could probably start talking about that now that I've kind of got that deal wrapped up. So, and actually one of the photos that I'll share tonight in my my photo share was shot using these filters. But if you go back some of the previous episodes, probably back towards, I guess it would have been last fall maybe, I got my hands on the Nisi filters. Nisi. I've been saying it wrong for so long, it's hard to break the habit now that I know the official way to pronounce it. So Nisi makes, they're really high-end filters. It's something akin to the Lee filter system. It's a square filter or rectangular, depending on which ones you're getting. And so I was fortunate enough to get a filter holder, or it's an adapter that allows the Nisi filter system to be retrofitted, or not retrofitted, but mounted to the 7 to 14 millimeter. And I got that last year from Phil Norton in the UK. He's the one that designed and manufactured the adapter, and he works with Nisi. He's like a brand ambassador for them. So Phil was cool, totally hooked me up with the filter and the adapter, and I was shooting with it, and just sharing what I was doing. And Nisi didn't have really much brand representation in the United States. It was something that they were working towards, but they didn't really have anything set in stone up until, really recently, like within the last month or so. And so our friend Alex McClure had been in contact with Nisi, and our buddy Mark Miller, who's also on the Vanguard team with me, he was in contact with them too, just trying to develop a good working relationship with them. And Nisi, looking to, I guess, increase brand awareness, decided to start up an ambassadorship program here in the States. And they brought on Alex McClure and Mark Miller. And now, luckily for me, I get to be a part of that as well. So I don't have a filter system in hand yet. Mark just got his. I think it was the end of last week. And so you can expect me to talk more in depth about the filters that I'm going to be shooting with them from them. But again, I've got an image to share tonight that was shot using their filters. And it's one of those things where, when I first got into photography, I had been really involved in, computer graphics and Photoshop and stuff like that. And then when I started shooting photos, my first instinct was, why would you put a filter on your lens when you can do that all in Photoshop? You don't need filters for that. And then now I think as I've matured a little bit in my photography, I'm starting to really realize the merits of filters. And I've been shooting with filters. I've got a couple of nice B&W filters that are great, but I had not really invested too much money in filters. And when I got the one from Phil Norton and started using that, I realized, there's a reason some filters cost more than others at this point. It's basically there is no color shift. If you put a cheaper filter on your lens, you're going to find that you're having to correct your white balance because you'll get like a green or a purplish color cast sometimes. So the Nisi filters don't seem to present that problem with the experience I've had with the one that I do have. But I'm expecting to get, it's basically this, it's a kit. It's a large kit that has, like a 10 stop and a 6 stop and a 3 stop and a graduated, and I think another reverse graduated neutral density filter. So as we roll on, I'll probably be talking a lot more about that. We're looking at maybe getting Nisi on board as a show sponsor. I know I've been talking with my contact with them here in the States, and they're interested in participating with the show and participating with workshops and things like that. So it could be something that, I'm super excited that I get to be a part of it and benefit from it. But the awesome thing is that if I can get that and make stuff available to, or, whether it be through discount codes or some
maybe they can provide this, giveaways or discount codes.
Yep. They seem to be really into that. So I think everybody can benefit from that.
And that helps because it's like that really good equipment. It's expensive. But it makes the world of difference.
Right.
It really does. And I'm assuming you'll probably have those with you when we do our Chicago workshop in September.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm going to try and bring along a spare set so that other people can experience it as well.
I was just going to say, and it's hard to say a lot other than seeing it. Okay. Of course, when you show it on the pictures, but it's hard to say what you see on the back of your camera, how much difference that makes.
Yeah.
When you're shooting.
Yeah. It's funny, like I said, for the longest time, I just felt like I could just do it in post. And I'm not against doing anything in post. I mean, anybody that looks at anything that I make knows that I definitely like to play around in post, but there's definitely something cool about taking an image straight off your camera that looks like you ran it through some post processing and you didn't, So again, it'll be fun to be able to talk more about it in the future and definitely be able to hopefully hook up everybody who's a listener or viewer.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. That'll be great. That'll be great. All right. What else? You want to talk about the giveaway, or we wait till the end on that?
Yeah, we'll probably do that in the middle here.
Okay.
But another thing I wanted to mention too is that, I'm actively pursuing sponsors for the show just because I think Mike and I want to get Mirrorless Minutes back to what the original vision was, when I first dreamt up, the whole thing. I wanted a website, where we could host content, and we could have some sort of interaction with the people who are viewers, whether we set up some way to share images from people, we can, publish written tutorials, whatever. I just would like a web presence, and all of that, of course, costs money. And so hoping to get some show sponsors on board to help offset some of that cost. So I'm in negotiations with a couple of different companies right now. And as part of the whole sponsorship thing, I'm negotiating in to be able to do giveaways. And I'm not giving away like keychains and stuff. I'm talking about like really expensive, nice gear.
Stuff you use. Stuff a photographer uses. And that's the other thing. I think the people you're talking with, that we're looking at, it's not underwear, manufacturers and things that have nothing to do with photography. I mean, these are things that we would use and either would use, or will use.
yeah, without a doubt. I know it's probably
it's important.
Yeah, I know it's easy to probably pick up some of the other sponsors like you were talking about, like MeUndies and stuff like that. They'll sponsor anybody, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with getting some financial support with what you're doing, but I'm not going to chase after the underwear sponsors. I'd rather chase after sponsors that pertain to what we do, just as much to support the show as to be able to work in conjunction with them to do giveaways and support the people that are, watching our show and supporting us.
Right, exactly. And we know that everyone that is going to be in photography wants to use that item too.
Yeah,
it's something that they would want to use.
Yep. So speaking of sponsors, Mike and I have a sponsor. We might be wearing sponsor gear, So we promised that we'd start doing some giveaways, and I'll just let everybody know how we did the drawing tonight, how that worked. Excuse me. So I told Mike I said, pick a number between 1 and 1,272, which happens to be our current YouTube subscribership. And Mike gave me the number 343. So I scrolled down through our subscriber list until I hit number 343. We've told you before that just because of the way this works, it had to be somebody in North America. Thank the heavens that it was somebody. I'm pretty certain he lives in North America. So if Scott Robertson is watching now, or will watch later, or will listen to the podcast, please email me, just because I want to get spam. Okay. Info, INFO at jmacdonaldphoto.com. So info at jmacdonaldphoto.com. So email me your info and I'll make sure that I get that code out to you as soon as possible, which would be pretty much instantaneously. So,
and we know
Scott
he's out
Robertson.
there. We saw him. Yeah, he's got a page out there on YouTube, right?
Yep, we were creeping on your YouTube page. So, so Scott Robertson, and here's the deal. So I'm not going to stretch this out forever. It'll be a week. I'll give whoever's watching this a week to respond. So by next Wednesday, if next Wednesday there has been no response by Scott Robertson, can keep doing this. If there's no response from Scott, I'm going to do the same thing with Mike. We might just mix it up a little bit and figure out a different way to draw a name, and it might not necessarily be straight off of the YouTube page. And then I'll probably throw it out like in a between the minutes, or Mike will, or we both will throw the name out there and then give that person until the next episode of Mirrorless Minutes. So Scott Robertson, the clock is ticking. And you're probably wondering, after all this talk, what are we giving away?
What is it?
I'm wearing it. We're going to give away the beanie first because we're getting to the end of the cold.
There it is. Drum roll.
Ta-da! So, but here's the cool part about it, really, though. Seriously, in all seriousness, it's not the one I'm wearing. Okay, so my head will not have been in your hat. Lucky you. You'll get a brand new one from the Olympus store. So, Scott Robertson, come on.
Yeah, you get a nice code to go out there.
Yeah. It'll ship.
I like that idea. It's easier for us too. No shipping involved.
Yeah, I like that. Yep. Thank you, Olympus.
Olympus. Yep.
So, Jerry James. Well, let me start with some of the chat room stuff.
Yeah.
Bob says, congratulations. I'm assuming you're talking about Nisi. Thank you, Bob. I'm freaking stoked to be working with a company like them. Actually, I'm working with ICANN, who is their distributor here in conjunction with Nisi. So some cool stuff coming to that, hopefully. And Bob says he ordered the Astro filter already. Dude, I am pumped to shoot with that. It'll be one less thing, again, to have to worry about in post, just trying to get your white balance corrected for all the warm temperatures that you see. Jerry James says, filters are life. Amen, brother. And he says, can you see all the people watching now? Not visually, I can't see, but I can see a viewer count. So I'm in a goofy mood tonight, in case you can't tell. It was an awesome day. Beautiful sunrise this morning. So you want to do a photo share, Mike?
Yeah, let's do photo share. You want me to go?
Sure. I've been talking for like 10 minutes straight.
All right, so we'll go. Let's see. We have to go application window now. I remember. Okay, I don't want to do this one first, but it's going to come up, and we're going to go here. Okay, did I switch it to the sunset? Do you see that?
I sure do. Lifeguard tower.
Good. Yeah, Laguna Beach. It's
nice.
It's Baywatch. It's the new Baywatch movie.
Is it really?
No, but it is out in Newport Beach.
Where's Dwayne Johnson?
It's in that same area. Yeah. This happened to be just an absolute amazing sunset, and I almost missed it because I was eating in a restaurant and I realized about what time it was. I went, oh crap, I need to finish up, and I ran out there. Sure enough, it's beautiful outside. I mean, Laguna Beach is beautiful to begin with, but hey. When you get these sunsets like this, it's always amazing. I like this one, but the next one here is the one that I like the most. Just the way with that person in it, and no, I don't know that person, and no, it's not Jamie. I think I've had everybody ask, is that Jamie? Because how you stand in the road in some of your pictures. So I said it is not. It's a person doing an iPhone shot if you look close. Of the sunset. So what a great night. Easy to, with it. It was a 10-minute. I had 10 minutes. That was it of timing after a meeting to get out there. So it was definitely worth it. If you've been listening the last couple of times, you might have heard me talk about the new drone that I have. So really, it's not that I'm in love with this picture, thinking it's the greatest composition and everything, but it's just, I want to show everybody from the sense of perspective, of photography perspective. This thing opens a whole nother perspective on photography. It was a really cool sunset at the end of the day. I had a couple of minutes, and if you look really, really close, this is up like 393 feet, but I'm right here, in my neighborhood here, and just trying to figure out what I can do with it. Learning how to fly is a whole nother thing on top of not only the photography and video take, but it is a lot of fun. And, if you get a chance and you're into it, it does open a different perspective. And I think that's what is always exciting in photography. So I think it can help in every way. And then, as Jamie was talking about at the top of the show, I am out here in San Francisco. Now, I'm out in San Francisco at least 4 times a year, at least 4 times, maybe 5, for work. And obviously, this is the Golden Gate Bridge taken from the Marin Headlands area in the city behind. And the one thing and I've been coming out here for years, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe more. I've never been able to get the darn bridge without just absolutely packed in fog. And you can see the fog coming in right here, different than, of course, the clouds. And I was so excited to get up there and actually be able to see the bridge. So put together a quick shot. Again, I'm over here and I'm at work. So I'm pulled over and I've taken a shot, and I got to get back on the road to get to work. So, but it is a beautiful area. And the next picture is one of those ones that is not from this year. It's from last year, and it was in the streets in San Francisco. I've been doing the workshop now with Derek. Derek and I have been doing it together for 3 years. I've been shooting there for 4. I have caught this guy 3 years in a row, and I'm hoping to catch him again this weekend. And he calls himself the Emperor. And actually, he does walk around and do some tours, I found out, or something. But it's just a great look. And I've got him in all kinds of different things, in black and white, and a couple different shots. So I'm hoping to find the Emperor. That's the ending story for this one. So.
Looks like you definitely get some interesting characters. I hear that constantly about San Francisco, depending on where you're at there, for sure. But
it's going to be different. It always is.
Super cool. Well, maybe you can find the Emperor in the rain. That'll be interesting.
Then if he's out, that's what I'm wondering, if he'll be out.
He might be the sad Emperor.
Right.
I have a boatload of photos to share, and I am cracking up laughing because of what you said about that one shot and people asking if it was me.
Yeah, they did. They go, "Is that Jamie?" Because he always stands in his pictures.
It's ironic.
I said, "No, Jamie's not in Laguna Beach."
I've never been to California.
I didn't know he was.
I need to get out there, I guess.
Yep. Workshop.
Yeah, if people wouldn't have voted Chicago, it would have been.
I know.
I would have faked the vote for San Francisco, but
that's right.
All right. So I went. How long ago was it? Was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. I went and met Brian Essler, who is one of the people who helps run out of Chicago at the Frederick Meyer Gardens in Grand Rapids. They do this butterfly exhibit every year where they hatch out thousands of butterflies that are not from Michigan. They're from all over the world. Very beautiful butterflies. So I took the 300 millimeter f4 with the teleconverter, which is crazy long. Actually, it's way too long for shooting butterflies indoors. So I found that I spent most of my time with the 12-100 on the EM1 Mark II. And that's what this is. This is the 12-100 on the EM1 Mark II. And this is ISO 5000. I love this camera. Pretty much straight out of the camera here. I don't think I did much except for probably a very, very light bump in contrast. And I these two butterfly shots, that's pretty much it with them, is a little bit of a contrast tweak. Same thing with this one. It's a glass wing butterfly, again with the EM1 Mark II with the 12-100 f4 on it. I did take the FL900R flash. I suck at flash. I'll be the first one to just raise my hand and say I suck with flash. So my butterfly shots with flash, I really didn't care for them, so I'm not sharing anything because you can really tell that they were shot with a flash. And a couple of days later, I was doing the same thing Mike was. I was out with the drone, and I'm going to keep throwing drone shots in here for two reasons. Number one, technically the camera is mirrorless, but the other one is a lot about what Mike said. It's a complete change in perspective. And for me, a lot of it is geometry, and which Mike displayed in his shot of the cul-de-sac there. I mean, that's what I love about drone photography, is that that whole change in perspective. You start noticing all these geometric patterns and shapes. And while this is definitely not the clean lines of, a man-made cul-de-sac, but you still have some geometry here. And I just really liked the fact that I had this one white swan sitting down here that I was trying to not upset too much by flying the drone around. And this next one, again, it's basically just a swampy, marshy area that I've driven by for 20 years and looked out over it from the road and always wondered what it looks like out there, because you can't see it. There's no way to see it. You'd have to get in like a shallow bottom boat and drag yourself through the mud to get out there. But the drone allowed me to kind of get a cool look at what it looks like out there. And I was pretty impressed with how it looks. Holy smokes, I'm just rolling through everything fast. And a few days later, I had a nice foggy sunrise. And this was not shot with the Nisi filters. And I promised you guys I had some Nisi filter shots coming up. So this wasn't one. This was just with the 12-100. And it was me. This is all straight out of the camera too. So this is me trying to get everything evenly exposed. Not the easiest thing to accomplish by any means. The next shot is me in the photo, just like I promised. This was shot with a Nisi filter, but this one has been processed pretty heavily because I was basically processing this for Instagram, because as crazy as it is, Instagram, people like a certain look in your images. But this was shot with the 7-14 on the EM1 Mark II with the Nisi reverse graduated neutral density. So basically what that is it's darker in the center, and you put that dark center on the horizon where the sun is rising or setting, and then it tapers off to lighter. So that way you're not overexposed on the horizon where the sun is at, and you're not underexposed in the sky or foreground. And I'll talk more about that probably when I do get those filters. And then last two shots were from this morning. We had an epic sunrise here in Michigan. I guess the precursor for the crappy weather that's already started on us here. But this is a bracketed shot, handheld bracketed with the EM1 Mark II with the 7-14 on it. And then the HDR was merged in Lightroom. And this is exactly how it came out of Lightroom as a merged HDR. Pretty stoked on how Lightroom handled that merge. And again, I just like these kind of shots. I don't know. They just kind of, they set the tone for how awe-inspiring it is to witness a scene like this, and that's just kind of how I feel these, represent that moment. Is I always like to be standing back to the camera, looking out just in my own amazement of the scene that I was seeing there. So that's kind of what I have for shots for screen sharing this week. I rattled through them pretty quickly, but everything except for the drone shots were shot with the EM1 Mark II and either the 12-100 or the 7-14. Those are like my two go-tos now, all of the sudden.
Yeah, everything except mine was the same thing, except the drone, of course, but the actually the guy in San Francisco last year, the Emperor, he's a pen F.
Yep.
But everything else is that 12-100. I mean, that's actually what I took with me on this workshop. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a street shooting workshop. And normally I would never shoot with the 12-100 in the street, but I took it because I might be doing some live composite at night, and I want to do some stuff there. But I've got the 17 millimeter and I've got the 25. And I brought the 25 because if it's rip roaring and pouring all day long.
Yep.
And I'll bring the EM1 Mark II.
And you're totally weather sealed.
And I'm totally weather sealed all the way across, because I may not bring the Pen F if it's a drowning rain. I don't necessarily want to do that. I have had it out in snow though. I think it was with you.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work fine.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't want to, put it underwater.
No. So Michael Cox jumped in and said that he enjoyed the In Between the Minutes podcast, talking about the digital 2X zoom.
Yeah.
That he enjoyed that and he started playing with it some today. So that's cool.
Yeah, that will come in handy this weekend when you can't get across the street because of whatever rain and people. You hit that 2X and you get there.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be fun. Fun Definitely. To do that.
So we are at the 30-minute mark, and I know you want to talk about a bag, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to show you real quick, and I got the rain cover, which is good, and there'll be more coming. But Think Tank sent me the new signature series, and I'll just say it. Spoiler alert: I love the bag. Okay, I mean it's crazy nice. I mean, just the attention to detail in this thing is amazing, and it's hard to explain the feel. You have to be here, so everybody feel it. Let's see what you say. But it is a really nice bag. The attention detail, and the leather on the top with this leather handle, leather on the bottom. It's a sharp bag. So I'm gonna test that this weekend for sure. And then I've got another smaller one too, that not from Signature Series, not in a different brand maybe too. That I'll go out if it gets so bad. I don't know how much I want to do it, but it comes with a rain cover. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'll experience it. You'll probably see some pictures with it.
It looks so nice. You wouldn't want to get it wet. I wouldn't.
I know, but expect some kind of review. I'm going to try to do a video review. We'll see if that works out. If not, expect it on Between the Minutes. I'm sure.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Sure. All right. I think we're about done. I keep looking this way because I'm looking at the clock on this monitor. Damn you, Apple. Why don't you put like the menu bar across both screens? It's such a pain in the butt.
Right.
I mean, I guess I could enable it, but anyways, I digress. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget, if your name is Scott Robertson, you need to email me at info@jmacdonaldphoto.com if you want one of these beanies. If you live in Florida or someplace like that, and this doesn't make sense for you, I'm sorry. That's just kind of how this one worked out. We only had one cold weather gift to give away.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it again for this week. Good luck out there this weekend, Mike. I know we're all looking forward to shots from the workshop, and I guess that's it. Don't forget to subscribe, give us thumbs up, swing over to iTunes and subscribe, the Google Play Store.
It was good what Chris said too. Hit that little what is it? That bell. If you hit that notification bell on YouTube, then whenever we go live, you'll automatically get a notice live. So besides the thumbs up, hit the bell.
Ring that bell.
Yeah.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring it. Ring it.
You'll know it when it comes on.
Yeah.
All right.
So again, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Congrats, Scott Robertson, and everybody else. Stay tuned because the next episode there'll be another giveaway, and maybe those other sponsors will be lined up at this point, and then we can talk about future giveaways as well. So you guys take care, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you, everybody.